This week I've actually managed to blow my layout up. Find out how I managed to destroy close to about 40 quid's worth of electronics in 5 minutes. Bit warm today, but that's not going to stop me because I've got some track weathering to do. Plan is pretty simple really. I'm just going to hit the track with some rail match. The old sleeper grime there. I've got the window open so you know we ventilate and then all the rest of it. I'm gonna make sure I cover the point motor blades things here. Make sure they're all covered with tape so paint doesn't get in there. Let it dry and then sand the top of the rails very lightly with a track cleaner. They're dirty anyway. And but they still work. It's that ECC Concept Legacy track. It gets dirty, but the locos run fine on it. It's great stuff. Anyway, dab me some spraying. Okay, that's all done. I need to get out of this room because it's really full of like fumes and stuff. There we are, 1 hour later. We've now got a nice brown track bed colour. So if at any point our ballast separates, we're getting this nice brown colour underneath rather than the new wood colour. And then we can go over basic bits of this later on and just do individual bits of weathering. I need to scrape off the top layer of paint from the rails so that they actually conduct. With I can use my finger or I can use track cleaner. But the problem is, don't do it like this, because if you do it like that, if you've got grooves in your rubber, it will go on the side of the rail and wash them away. So use a flat bit and just like this. That'll clean the tops of the rail away. Right, time to crack on with this. You're gonna love this next bit. So I gave in to peer pressure and finally did some ballasting. See here. Okay, fine. I've done some ballasting. There we go. Right, okay, moving on. Anyway, after I did the ballasting, I was going around the layout and I was just checking for things that needed adjusting. Stuck switch blades on points, ballast which is set too close to the inside of the rails, things like that. Of course, I found a little bit of that nonsense going on and I corrected it. With a few points which had stuck and needed freeing up. Eagle-eyed amongst you will know that I've now got point motors installed on the layout, and this is not something I've really done before, nor have I had LED signal lights attached to them. Can you guess where this is going? After I had ballasted and sprayed everything with water and PVA glue to set the ballast like I've been doing for years, I needed to move one of the point blades. Now, I couldn't do this manually because of course I've got the automatic point motors in place and you don't want to really damage them. So I, without thinking, picked up my remote control for the layout and hit the power button. Oh dear me. Now the layout didn't explode and no locomotives got damaged, thankfully. However, I noticed that the LEDs in the signals were acting quite strangely. And all the point motors started to throw on their own like this. It keeps throwing back, so I throw it. And then it goes straight back. Oh yeah. So, final casualty list, we lost about 4 LED ground signals. One of them works halfway. We lost 2 splitter boards and 3 ground control signal boards, should I say. But not one single point motor failed. They all still work spot on. So that's just a testament to how good they actually are. They'll even withstand buffoonery of the highest caliber from the sort of idiocy from a man who adds electricity to something which is literally soaking wet. Here on Iron Horse Railways, you don't hide the truth. We don't gloss over things with a perfect rendition and smooth running and everything else. We are here to do reality, and the reality is I am an absolute idiot. So every day is a school day, boys and girls. And we are now going to replace the damaged LEDs and the boards that control them as well. But this is quite good because this now shows us how we can install them after you've ballasted. So this is another way you can do it. Let's crack on again, shall we? Okay, so you can see the point is set for this rod to come out, and we're showing a double white, which is correct. When we set the point against it, it's supposed to show red and white, and it don't do anything. That one there is now showing double whites, but when we flip it back, it goes out again. So, and that isn't showing anything now, see? So there is quite clearly something wrong. So we need to, I think, replace this. That one, and that one is not doing anything at all. That's completely dead. So that's 3 of them, and that one over there. I don't know if it's the LEDs or if it's the boards. So I'm just gonna swap them out, see what happens. I'm going to start by ripping the guts out of this one underneath the layout, trying to find out, remember which one I've connected it to. I think it's this one over here. So the good news is this LED here, it's just the LED that's broken because I've plugged a new one into the existing board under yonder, and when I switch the points over, as you can see, it switches. Awesome. So I just need to reroute this one back up top and replace the other ones. Nice. There we go. All sorted now. All the new ones back in place. We're now back to exactly where we were a week ago. Right. Spot on. Remember, no more water and electricity. All I've done with them is literally just unplug them from the control boards, rip the old LEDs out of the base board, feed the wire through the same hole and plug it into the new board, and that's it, it works again. The whole process is easier than your mother after she's had half a baby sham. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So I think now that I've actually got the ballasting done and I've got the signals all set up and everything back to how it was a week ago before I decided to blow the layout to bits. Okay, not to bits, but you know what I mean. Now it's time to actually start building the layout, and I'm going to start with a little corner on the top and a little trick I've found with the little fairy-like thin wire LED lamps you can get from BCC Concepts. I find them quite hard to solder with, but I've found if you do it this way, it makes it a lot easier to work with. So I'm going to use this little scene as a starting point. There's no back scene in place at the moment though. But what we're going to do is sort of map out the area, put a few lamps in place as well. But before we do that, we need to prepare the lamps, so let's have a look over here. Okay, so you might be familiar with these things. This is the Modern Image street lamp, depot lamp things. You can get it from DCC Concepts, and they come with these really fine, almost invisible wires on the end of them. Now, the problem I found is they're really hard to see and solder with, so I found a way around that. What I'm going to do is take the end of one of their little plugs, little 2-wire plugs that you get for the alphanumeric stuff. I'm going to bare the wires and solder these straight to this wire here. Melt them onto the wire like this. First things first, I need to bare back some wire on these things. I'm going to use these little wire cutters from DCC. Shove it in there, squeeze it, and it bares the wires. Super simple. And now I'm going to twist these up and I'm going to solder the other ones to these to see this at an awkward angle. And essentially you just wrap it around the exposed wire thusly and wrap it around a fair few times. Hopefully you can see what I've done there. bit of flux on there. Get your soldering iron. Again, I'm trying to do this and show you at the same time, so please forgive me if it's not the best view in the world. Load the soldering iron with some fresh solder, and then just solder it. Oh, can you see what I'm doing? I can't see the camera, so there we are. And that has soldered the fairy wire to the main wire. I'll do the same with the other side on the remaining one, and then that will plug straight into an alpha mimic board or a lighting control board. And as you can see, it's now plugged into one of these signal control boards. I know it's not insulated yet. That's fine. It will be insulated. Don't worry. It's just proof of concept. There you are. So again, just wrap the tinsel wire around the proper wire. I know it's shaky, forgive me. Wrap the tinsel, gold tinsel wire, whatever this stuff is, around the main wire and just solder it on. And it works. Look at that. Does the job. So we can now install that up yonder, plug it into a line control board, easy peasy. And I'm just going to do some wiring now, tapping into the bus. We're using my new wire cutters, and once I've got a feed I can plug it in to the bus, and then I can just plug the lights into the adapter board. There we are, all lit up. Now obviously it's the middle of the day, so you can't see this very well, but at night time that's going to look really good. And we can adjust the height of it as well, but I'm quite happy with the height of it as it is. And the nice thing is that now that I've got that connected under here, the beauty of this is if I want to plug another LED in, I just solder the wires to the end of it, plug it in there. Or I can extend it with an end-to-end adapter, which you can get from DCC. So it's got these plugs on the end of it, extend it and just have a string of these going along. And I can just run these separately. Really cool idea. Handy bit of kit. So all that's left to do now is redo some of this ballasting, because apparently when I set it, I didn't set it very well. So that's going to need redoing at some point because it's all starting to lift. There we go, I've put a little bit of more ground scenics in there now, bedded the first set of the cabins in place, put the static grass down. Looks a bit better than bare cardboard, doesn't it? Or bare baseboard. Well, it's been an exciting week for me, so I think I've deserved a rest. I'll see you all next time. Take care, bye bye.